Kat from KatsSouthernCharms. We're gonna do our bloom video. First things first, I told you guys the secret to this is a thicker resin. What I am using is a TableTop resin by Let's Resin. It's gonna be a Let's Resin video. This is a thicker viscosity resin, and it really helps slow the process down so things don't happen too fast and your sinker doesn't sink to the bottom. I'm actually doing this with two different things. I'm using the white alcohol ink by Let's Resin. That is also their sinker white. I am using all Let's Resin alcohol inks for all of this. I have mixed everything up. I went ahead and put my alcohol drops in because I wanted this to warm up, and we're getting there. And this is just a candy thermometer that you shine to make sure, or you double check your temperatures on your candy when you're cooking corn syrup or sugar, making caramel, whatever you want to do with that. Or just to check your baby's temp on their forehead so they don't have to scream and fight you about it. So that's what I'm using for that. Everything has been setting for about 25, maybe 30 minutes, letting my resin dance, do its thing. And I know people talk about they don't like the clear on the outside. I like the clear on the outside. And I'll tell you, because it lets the backing color really pop through if you add one. Sometimes I just like to leave it alone. So let's, I was gonna say, uh-oh, did I bring my scissors? I have them. I'm gonna take these. You saw what I did with that too. I put my piping bag inside a cup because it's easier to put this down around the side. And then I have two hands to hold my cup where I mixed everything in and pour it and make sure I get all the goodness in my piping bag. Now, I'm gonna do two with the alcohol ink, and you can see it's like a 2% milk consistency. That is what you wanna have. Let me snip. Ooh, really? Okay, so I got my scissors, got my paper towel. I'm just gonna snip the very end of this off. Like so. I don't want a very big opening for this. Set my scissors to the side. I'm gonna put my paper towel down here. All right, so I'm gonna wipe, wow. All right, that did not cut evenly. Let's take two. All right, that's better. But this hole's a bit bigger than I wanted. Now, I'm doing two with alcohol ink. And this is the difference, y'all. I'm not doing swirls this time. I'm gonna make flower petals, and I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not gonna draw like I do my clock or any of that. I'm gonna let it be. I am gonna swirl the middle, but we're gonna try this because I am finding that actually has a better result. That is more consistent. And you want these little swirls to be the consistency of like a spaghetti noodle. And I cut this hole bigger than I wanted. Let's do it here. So we're just gonna go around, in any places that are too thick. Remember, I told you before, you just take a toothpick and stretch it out. All right, now I will swirl the inside there. like so. Let's do a little swirl here. All right, now I'm done with this one. Back, I'm just gonna set it in this little cup. So it's out of the way. Now, dagnabbit, it doesn't knock everything off. There, that's better. All right, let's get our paste out. And this is the same thing, y'all. You can see, it is the consistency of like 2% milk too. All right, maybe a little bit darker with the paste, but I'm gonna swirl it around, and then I'm gonna cut just a little baby tip. I just wanna cut a very, I don't want a big opening. That's better. Okay, so now, make sure it's coming out. We're gonna do the same thing with the paste. We're just gonna draw little flower petals. And this paste I'm using is the Eye Candy Satori. I actually think I could have made my alcohol ink a little darker, but that's all right. And this way, y'all, you don't have to draw anything. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna do the same thing here. We're just gonna do little flower petals and continue to go around. I didn't check to see if y'all could see this one over here. This is a smaller mold. And I'm just doing little baby petals all the way on the outside. All right, now I'm done with this, and I'll find another mold or something that I can put this in, but for now, I'm gonna set it away. Let me see. Oh good, you can see it. Okay, so all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna swirl the center, and that is it. Where is my, oh, here it is. My little stick, is this the one I want to use? I think so. All right, so I have my handy dandy little wipe, and I'm just gonna swirl on the inside and see how it brings that white, oop. I wanna get all that color off. I don't want that color mixing in here. So when I swirl that, see how it kind of swirls the petals too? That's an easier way. I think this is gonna work, guys. And this will be a very easy go-to for beginners. Now, one other thing that you didn't see me do, I did not use my alcohol spray because you don't want to mess up the consistency of your resin. And when you spray alcohol on there, look y'all, it kind of looks like a carnation, doesn't it? It's already starting to bloom out. So I think these are gonna be beautiful. That's super easy. You don't have to worry about, you know, drawing lines in here and out and all that mess. And I think for a beginner, this is a much easier method. So you get success early on. And when you gain more experience or skill, the more you do resin, then you can switch and try the other way. But for now, I wanted to create a way that beginners could do this and easily get success without all the frustration, because blooms are the hardest technique to accomplish. Now, I know I tell y'all, do not use fire in molds. I'm using a very small lighter. You could use a barbecue lighter. I don't want to spray alcohol on here and mess up my patterns or my resin consistency. So I'm not going with my heat to the outside of the mold. I'm only going over the center. That's all I'm doing. Plus, you don't want to heat your resin up too much, right? So that's it. We're done with that. I am gonna let it sit. I see a little. Y'all, if you have huskies, it is a challenge, I tell you. Where are my toothpicks hiding? They grew legs and walked away. So I can see from here, there is a hair hanging out, right? Dang, get out of there. Shoot. I may have to get my... Dang, come here. All right, so this one's probably gonna be screwed up. That's all right. You know what I can do? Let's do this, because I don't think this alcohol ink is going to do well. Let's do a round of this paste. That's what I'm gonna do to save this, because I should have made that alcohol ink darker. So we'll just add this paste, and I'm gonna let all this sit overnight. I'm gonna re-swirl this in the middle. I really love how that is feathering out already. So once I finish this, we'll go over one more time the steps. Dagnabbit. And I'm probably gonna regret doing this. That's all right. It's done, it's over with. Nothing you can do about that now. See how this is thick? I'm gonna spread it out. I don't want a glob there. So I'll just spread it out. Now here, I'm gonna swirl again. Just like that. And here. All right, there we go. All done. Now, I'm gonna let these sit overnight. We'll move this down. Move these out of the way. Gonna move this up here. That's level. Okay. So, now, quick review. We use the TableTop resin because it's a thicker viscosity, meaning it's a thicker resin, it's not thin. Because when you get a thin resin, your alcohol inks move fast. They come to the middle and they shrink to nothing, right? Because it's thin resin and it can move quick. It has no resistance when it moves, right? Same thing with the alcohol ink and the white paste. You want it to slowly bloom. And if it's in a thin resin, it goes straight to the bottom. And you have all the blobs that you don't want. So this is the #1 thing, is the TableTop or a coating resin. I do not recommend the thicker fast cure resin because it's a lot of pressure when you're starting out. I still get antsy when I use a fast cure resin because you only have 20 minutes work time. That's too much pressure, especially for someone just learning. Then I poured the resin into the coasters. I dropped my colored inks. I put my lighter in the middle, my darker on the outside, and I let that sit. While that was sitting, I had separated out some of my regular resin, and I mixed some with the white alcohol ink and the other with the eye candy Satori paste. And all I did was barely dip my mixing stick in the pigment paste, and put it in my resin because I don't want it heavy. Remember the chart that I show you guys, and I'll put it up here so you're familiar. And remember, pigment paste is like a brick. So when you use it, it sinks, it stays, it's heavy. So if you mix it completely for full coverage, it's gonna sink. That's what it's supposed to do. And it's supposed to stay where you put it. So if you use just a little bit, a tiny amount, and mix it in, it gives your resin that weight, but not sink all the way immediately. So that's the difference. So we let our resin with our alcohol ink set. We separated out our white and our, the alcohol white and the paste. And I just have these little piping bags. If you don't have these, it's no big deal. You can use just a sandwich bag. Put it in a sandwich bag, turn it, and just snip the end. You don't want a big hole because you want this to come out the size of spaghetti. That's the ideal size. And then you just pipe petals. That's it. Don't worry about drawing in and all that kind of stuff. That's another level. Right now, let's just get it where beginners can do this with success and be happy and proud of themselves, right? Like I said, we're gonna let this sit. We did not use our alcohol spray because we don't want to mess with the consistency of our resin. We use just a little, this is a little baby lighter. It barely has any flame to it, so I can control exactly where it's going. It's super tiny flame, and I don't go out to the edge of my mold where things tend to meld to your piece if you use too much heat. That's all I'm doing to it. Gonna let it sit, gonna let it cure. We'll come back and we're gonna check our final piece. Are y'all excited? I'm super excited. Anyway, it will be just a few seconds for y'all. It's gonna be a full sleep for me. So I'll see you in a few. Hey y'all, we're back. I had a nice sleep and y'all been waiting seconds. They're done. I am super excited. Let's take a look at them before we take them out. You can see adding that extra paste in here really made a difference. I don't think it would have worked with the alcohol ink the way that it was. So here we go. And I had some extra white that I just poured in here, and I'll just pop these out. This is something people have been talking about a lot lately. This is actually a fondant mold. It's used for food, to shape chocolate, to go on cakes, or fondant, to make little figurines to go on. But you see how this makes it frosted? It's not glossy, it is matte. Ooh, y'all, it is really blowing out here. But, so that's what that does, that kind of mold does. And I wanted to show you, well, these are all stuck together. They'll have to be cut apart, no big deal. But you see what I mean? They're not shiny, they're not glossy. And this is great if you want to insert this in resin. That way you don't have two glossies competing against each other. But I'll save that for another video and explain it. I just figured I would show y'all since I had it here. You can see how cool. All right, we'll leave that alone, set it to the side, because this is what we're really excited about. Y'all, I can't wait. All right, let's start with purple, shall we? And remember, I did use heat, but I didn't go out to the edge of the coaster. I stayed right in the middle. Excuse me. So that's why it's not stuck and melded. Wow. I bet my guy turns around and comes home. Look at that. What do you think? I am super excited about that. Are y'all happy? Now there's a very easy method so you can have successful blooms. All right, let's try our red. Again, not melted because I didn't take the heat all the way to the edge. Oh, there we go. All right, ready? Ta-da! Oh, y'all, look at that. How gorgeous did that turn out? Super beautiful. My goodness. All right. I love that red, y'all. Looks like a rose. Perfect for Valentine's, huh? Here's our next one. Are you ready? Look at that, y'all. Gorgeous. And look how clear. I love Let's Resin. Super clear, no bubbles. Gorgeous. Okay, and our last one are blues. And I'm gonna put a link to everything in the description. So if you wanna grab this, there's a link, and I also have a code there that'll help you save some money too. Are you ready for the last one? Oh, y'all, look at that. And we still got our colors outside, and we didn't even have to draw any lines. Beautiful. Are you excited by this? And I don't have a black piece of anything because I did not coat these. As you can tell, I didn't do a backing on it yet. Because what I'll do is I will paint the underside with the white school glue. Remember that trick. So it keeps all this protected. And I'll set it here on top of a cup. And then, excuse me, other way. I'll protect this side, turn this over, and pour a backing on this. What backing? Comment below. What color backing should I put on these? What do you think would look really good? I think black would look really good on this because of the contrast. But you tell me in comments below, what backing color should I put on here? And once we have enough comments, then I will do the backing, and then I'll do a short video under shorts to reveal what it looks like with the backing on it. But y'all, this is a super easy way for you to be able to create blooms without all the frustration. This is the hardest technique to learn. Y'all, people have been doing resin art for years, and for some reason, this just gets them. It's really hard to, you know, get consistent results with. I'll say it that way. Anyway, we now have our tried and true bloom technique. So I hope y'all go out and try it. When you do, leave me a comment, come back and tell me, was it easier? Did you have less stress and more success? These are the questions that I want to know from you. We now have a membership program too that you can join for a small fee a month. I'm gonna do special things for members only. It's not gonna take away from the channel. I'm not gonna teach them something that I won't make available for everyone else. What I am gonna do is I am once a month gonna let them take the reins. They're gonna have all the power. Members will be able to decide what technique I do for that monthly video and what colors I use. So that should be a lot of fun because I'm gonna let y'all challenge me and see what we come up with. We're gonna make it fun, right? I'm also gonna do my very first giveaway on this channel this month. And members will get extra entries for that giveaway. So that's another benefit to becoming a member. Sorry, I took some cold medicine and it is making my mouth dry. But y'all, blooms are done. You have a method that will work. Remember, the #1 thing for this to be successful is thick resin. Your tabletop, it's going to say tabletop, or it's going to say coating. That means it's going to be a thicker viscosity resin. That's going to give you way more success with blooms. Anyway, look at the description. I'm going to have everything linked, from the alcohol inks that I used to the resin I used. What else? That's really it, right? Oh, the eye candy, the white paste that I use. And remember, for your paste, you only dip it in like you dip your toe in the pool to check the temperature. But I am super excited, you guys. I'm so glad I could get this done for you to make this easier and give you more success. That is my whole goal for this channel, is to find ways to make your life much easier while you're resin arting, and so you can have more fun with it. But y'all know what to do. Go run and do it. Hit the like button so more people can find this video who've been struggling. We want to help as many people as possible. Share it on your social medias. Share it with your friends that may be doing resin art that are struggling too. But make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that giveaway, and hit that bell so you'll be notified when I put the post up for the giveaway. Until next time, y'all, happy arting. Ta-ta for now.